You should take the Word of God seriously. It's His Word. It's infallible. It's holy. And He's there giving it to us. And we ought to read it, therefore, with careful attention, with diligence, and not just sloppily. Even with meditation, application, and prayer. Always prayer. Prayer is part of our life. Why not with the Bible? Of course, with the Bible. So, it may seem tedious at first, but it flows partly from history and partly from people dodging their responsibilities. One of the things you find out raising kids is you give a commandment, and all of a sudden the kid realizes, I can find an exception to your very words, the very words that you use. But you know your words were supposed to convey something broader than the narrow definition of each word, right? You know this as adults. You can only say so many words. You're trying to cover a lot of situations, and the kid's like, I don't think you mentioned this. And so you end up having to be what? More specific to get the point across. That happens in the church in spades. That's why the confessions keep getting longer and longer. Someone comes along and says, yeah, well, Jesus is God, but what about this? And we're like, okay, we got to explain this is you're making an error. And we have a similar thing here with how to read the Word of God, how to read the Bible, or how to stop people from dodging their responsibilities. Probably one way of looking at it. Question 157.